where they do not have that same kind of resources. They don't, the people like us, we don't have that kind of resources available to us, which companies like Lloyds, TSBs, Virgin Media, they have got. Now when we are going for it, when we are talking about the big companies like this, they have got board of directors who comes out on the quarterly leadership meeting every quarter, maybe flying from private jets, different parts of the world, coming to Virgin Island and having their quarterly meetings. They are coming to annual general meetings, and they have got this whole crew of 20-30,000 people, CEOs, who must be earning in millions. It means even if you consider 1 million, the 20-30 key people over there is 20 million pound of revenue which is needed. How many people like us, who are the startup businesses or young businesses, have got 20 million pound to put on the brains, which is behind driving any business? And as Peter said, to take a business from zero to make it, 6 billion pound or 8 billion pound company, and then being a part of every household, which is Virgin Media. That's what the strength Peter have got. But he is on a journey to help people, and I am part of that, and I am very fortunate enough to be part of that. The only thing is, he have got various shepherds like me, okay? I am into this million pound journey at the moment. I want to travel to the billion pound journey. But hey, you know what? When I was sitting in seminars like that, I was not interested what Peter is doing or what anybody else is doing over there. I was interested into me. And same as it is all about you guys. It is never about me. So if I say I want to do this, I want to do this, doesn't matter. Who cares about it? What we care is, what can I do for you? That's what it cares. And one thing which I can do at this stage over here is bring some of the golden nuggets which I have brought from my own experience, just to say a little bit about my journey. I've started my journey in 2007 as my first business. And who have seen a kid, 1-year kid, trying to stand up and walk? Almost all of us. Who has not seen? Let's see, put hands. No hands up. It means everybody has seen. Let's see who has seen a young kid trying or have tried by themselves, going up, trying, 1-year-old, any kid? No, there is no energy over here. Okay, I think I should go. Okay, so there's some smile over here. That's fine. Who has seen a 1-year kid who is trying to stand up and falls down? All of us, right? Yeah, that's great. Now, does he give up over there? Does he give up? No. What do we do as a parent, uncle, brother, sisters? What does we do? We encourage them, right? We encourage them, all of them, to do it. Come on, do it. And we never stop that encouragement unless until it becomes second nature to them, start running after. Yeah, which will be 2 years. And that's what it matters. It matters about seeing that journey. It matters about finding out what the success is all about. All the golden nuggets which I'm going to talk about, this has come from the people like Peter to me. I have practiced it, preached it. I have got my own experience. Started my journey in 2007. Started with one business, brought one office, 3 people together over there. And what happens in 8 months' time? I was thinking probably in 6 months' time I'll be the first millionaire, the youngest millionaire at that point of time. I can probably, change the whole universe, and create more entrepreneurs with me coming together over there. But you know what? The reality is not that fact, right? Reality is not that true. 3 months down the line, all the 3 people, the highly experienced people, 8 or 10 years of experienced people, committed, and they promised the whole world to me, saying, your product will be booming the insurance industry. Nobody can beat us, and we'll bring this to the life. Have you seen that kind of promises from your associates, partners, marketing companies, anything over there? We all have seen that, right? Some nods I can see over here. And this is what happened over there. 3 months down the line, product, not even the POC was ready, not even the concept was ready. 8 months down the line, I have already spent 67,000 pounds. Where is the business? No income coming, and all my savings which is happening, that was gone. How do I get those savings? My God, I have earned hard-earned money. I was earning 80,000 pounds, 60,000 pounds over there in the commissions on the top of it at that point, working on multiple ventures and trying to see that, I can have all these savings and put it into this, aspiring business and take it over there, which can make, 10 millionaires with me over there. Did it happen? No, I closed it down. I had to close it down because I ran out of energy. And then I thought probably I'm better in the job. I'm not good in the business. I should not do the business. Why should I do when I'm losing 67,000 pounds within 8 months' time? it's not about that 67,000 pound. It could be 600 pound, it could be 6,000 pound, but the story remains same. And how do I know it? Because after that failure, I started looking who else is the part of the same thing and if I can learn something from there to make my life journey better. And that is where it all started. How many businesses we have got in UK at this point of time? Anyone? Yeah? How many? Yeah, in UK. UK and British Isles. Yeah? Okay, millions. Anyone have got any specific number? No? Last year, 2022, we had 6.6 million businesses. What is the population of Britain or UK? Around 67, 70 million mark, somewhere hidden, unhidden. Let's say 6.66 million. So 66 millions, and we have got 6.6 million businesses. In the history of UK, from 2000, year 2000, what has happened? We got a sheer drop where our current population, our current business is around 5.5 million. So see how many businesses collapsed, and we are all part of the same thing. Okay, so it's all about finding out what journey we have got and how can we make it better. Let me go back to our golden nuggets, and for this golden nuggets, let me just give you some some more information over here. The clicker is not working, guys. Can anyone go to the next slide, please? Anyone, can you go to the next slide? Okay, Rubik's Cube. Do you know how many challenges we have got? Do you know anyone what is this? Rubik's Cube so far has got only 8 billion populations, and we are still having people who are just millionaires, whether Elon Musk or whether we talk about people like Mark Zuckerberg or anything like that. So that's one. My idea of bringing Peter over here was so that he can share the same thing and same thought with all of us. And that's what I wanted to do. So Peter here not, I said to Peter, you know what is going to happen next time? I'm going to organize a chartered plane. And next time, whatever happens, we are not going to go to EasyJet. We are not going to do anything else, but I'll take you to the Isle of Man. So next year when the expo is happening, that is my promise to you guys. Whatever happens, whether the food poisoning happens, whether he is sick, and he's on the bed, probably I'll bring him over here. That's my promise. But with this one, and following after that, Peter works very closely with Richard Branson. He is training all the millionaires and billionaires people into his group at this point of time. Maybe in next 3 years time or 5 years time, I would love to see that Richard Branson is on the stage and sharing some of his insights, some of his thoughts with you guys over here. That's my vision. That's my passion. But how can that happen and why I want to do that? Ben was over here. He said, what is the why? Why do you want to do that? Because I wanted to change whatever I have achieved, and when I'm saying achieved, I'm not a billionaire at this point of time, but I have created multi-million pound of companies at the moment. I have, become a serial entrepreneur. So far, as my introduction, I started my journey in 2007, collapsed within a year's time, lost 67,000 pounds, and then I thought, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Is this the vehicle which can take me? To cut the story short, I decided to ride multiple bikes. I started ride multiple vehicles which can take me to the same journey and see whether I can achieve it or not. And in 6 years time, by 2012, I created 6 businesses. Now, here is you are going to boo me. Okay, out of 6 businesses, 5 businesses failed. And this time, I did not lose 67 pounds. I lost £250,000. Who is ready to do that? Any one of you. I can guarantee one thing. If you are ready to lose £250,000, I can share you, I can show you, along with my people and Peter and other shepherds, how can you lose £250,000 but still make £1 million as a revenue. Who is up for that? Getting ready for £250,000 but still get £1 million. If you don't get £1 million, that £250,000 is on us, as well as the £750,000 other revenue is on us. How does that sound to all of you guys? That's the journey which we started, guys. That's the journey which I started. 7 years of time, going through lots of deep troubles, lots of ups and downs, and probably reaching out to the point where my first company reached a revenue of £250,000 in 2012. I had lots of learning, lots of experience over there, and I don't want to stop it. I wanted to share that entire insight, entire strategy, and it's all about Rubik's cube. Do you know how much time it takes for us to solve the Rubik's cube? This one over here, 3 by 3 Rubik's cube. Can you go to the next slide, please? The 3 by 2 Rubik's cube takes around, for me, people like me, I can solve the Rubik's cube, but one side out of 6, and I can take half an hour. Now there are a few people over here in this room right now who can solve in 14 seconds, all sides. Yeah, I think probably I will run out of time if I demo it, but definitely I'm going to show that sometimes later over here, maybe next networking event or something. And it's all about the process. There is a 3-stage process in solving any Rubik's cube, and that 3-stage process takes around 21 sub-steps of that. And if you follow those process, follow those strategies, you can solve it out within 14 to 16 seconds. Literally, 14 to 16 seconds. Business is not different than that. Business have got different challenges, different industries, they all have got their own mechanism to do it. But if you just follow a framework, if we just follow a strategy, if we just follow a proper guidelines, you can change any problems into a solution, and that can bring into the £1 trillion. So why I'm saying £1 trillion, it's not a slip of tongue, it is a £1 trillion journey. Nobody has done it. Find out what you aspire to, where you wanted to be, and then decide your journey. If you really want to be in £1 trillion, do you know when we are getting our first trillionaires? Anyone?
Within 5 years.
Next year.
We should do that.
Yeah, next year. It is somewhere. Yeah, by 2032, the world is getting 12 trillionaires. And you know what happens when we go to the Forbes? Why I mentioned Forbes is, again, I'm a business I'm a member of Business Council of Forbes. They go through various different processes, and they chose me, and then I become one of them out of 1,200 throughout the globe. So I'm one of the 1,200, throughout the globe over there. But £1 trillion by 2032, when Forbes takes out a listing, it says top 50, top 100, top 500. If we want to be in that list, do we have, how many billionaires we have got in the world at the moment? No idea? Okay, 2,640 billionaires guide. If one of you become a next billionaire in next 10 years time, will you go on that Forbes list? Is there any chance of getting in the top 50 billionaires list in the Forbes? No, not at all, because they are already taken. But what is left then? Trillionaires, right? There is no one at the moment. By 2032, there are only going to be 12. So in top 50, there is still a lot of space left. So can we not try for something which is already there, possible, rather than thinking which is not there? But journey starts from the small. You can see that here we have got some black Santosh, then we have got red Santosh, then we have got green Santosh. If you see the journey, always when we start anything, there is always a survival stage. We need to survive first before you start thinking to have the sustainability or the profit. Once we sustain ourselves, then the next step is then try to succeed. What is the success? What is the success for all of us guys? Whatever we want to do. For a 1-year kid, it is trying to stand up by himself and walk. That is a success, isn't it? What is the success for a 4-year kid? For a 4-year kid, the success is when he can stop being in his pant. Is it not? It is a success, right? What is the success for a 9-year kid? For a 9-year kid, probably trying to read his his or her books, or maybe trying to prepare for GCSE. What is the success for a 12-year, 20-year, 18-year? We have got getting our first license at the age of 18 is the success for all of us. So that's the success. But this all goes through the principles, and the processes. So that's the trick. With that, the overall plan which we are doing with the Peter and the team, and we are trying to bring this this journey where we will be providing lots of tips and helps and techniques and strategies. Can we go on the next one, please? So 3 golden nuggets is nothing but about finding the personal success psychology, the mindset psychology, and business psychology. If you go to the next, please. Next slide, please. Go to next. I'm just going to skip some of the slides, guys, because I don't want to read over there. But there are few golden nuggets which I said. Now, first one which we have got is, for any business to be successful, you need 4 foundations. You need the right foundation in place, and the foundations are the 4 pillars. Now, when we are talking about the 4 pillars, the first pillar is always the plan. If you have got the right plan in place, it's 90% chances that you will succeed into business. So what brings the next 10%? Out of that, if you have got the plans, what you need is you need to put the right processes over there, and that process should be in alignment with your plans. So that's the second pillar. If suppose you have got the plans, you have got the process, then the third key element or third pillar comes is the people. If you are not working with the right people, if you don't have the right people like Peter or shepherds or something like that, then probably we'll always struggle. We need people at the leadership level, we need the people at the front lines, we need people everywhere over there. So hence, getting the third pillar, which is the people, are most important things. And once we have got these 3 pillars already aligned, which is plans, process, and people, our profit is guaranteed. And that I have learned in a very hard way, guys. And not only me, I'm sure there are millions of other people who are learning this, but it's a question of how many of have got the courage to share that, thinking, oh, this is my secret. Yeah, I don't want to reveal it to anyone. I have got nothing to hide. I have got no competition over here. If people are, helping themselves and growing, that's good for me, because I love that. I love helping people. So that's what my first, pillar is. Can we go to the next one, please? Keep going, please. I just wanted to know. Keep going. Business aura. Deal. Okay, let's stick to the deal. I think let me share one more, and then probably I'm taking too much of time, so I'll probably stop over here. And for third one, please speak to me after the show or within the show, or connect on the LinkedIn, and I'll share the third one. This is one of the biggest success story which I have received from following this mechanism. You will never find this anywhere else. That's my proprietary, the 4 pillars of success as well as deal. Deal is, as the name suggests, DEAL. What we need to do in business is, as a business owner, we need to be free from everything. We should not be doing the work. I have got invested in 41 brands so far, and I'm the most useless guy in this universe. People say I don't have anything to do, and that's why I'm standing over here. If I have got great business, I should be doing my business. What am I doing over here? But this is where activity happens. I believe in relations. I believe in bringing people together. I believe in building the communities, and hence I'm over here. But how can I do that? How can I still run my 41 businesses? The formula for that is D, delegate. If I can free myself and come over here and meet lovely people like you, share my thoughts, my experience, and delegate everything which I have got, so that other people can do in my business, that's the greatest, formula, I would say. So delegation is the key. If we can't delegate it, reprioritize it. Pass it to someone else, see whether it is critical or important or not, and that's called elimination. Get into your list, eliminate things which is not required, and that's the second formula, second stage of this. So if we can't delegate something, like coming over here, I can't delegate it. See if we can reprioritize a few things and be here. So that's the elimination. And if we can't eliminate something, make sure you are doing any activity once, and then trying to set up the formula, automate it with the processes and systems and everything else, and save up 80% of your time. If you can save 80% of time, that's automation where it is going to help. But still there will be 20% which you cannot do by anything, because you can't delegate, you can't eliminate, you can't automate. What are you going to do? Work with the people like you who are behind you. You have got great people around you. Get into that environment. Paul mentioned about network, the power of network. Go into that environment, build the network, build that power. Work with those people, and probably from there you can leverage with the partnership, with the collaboration with the right people and mindset over there. So that's the second, success which I'm, success formula which I'm going to share. The deal methodology. Of course, I'm writing a book onto this. So, please, be aware of that. Maybe, when the books comes out, buy it, look at it. If you don't want to buy it, come to me and I'll send you the free signed copy as well. But, there is great lot which is going to happen over there. But with this, I would also like to, do one more thing. I would like to share the third element over here, and that's just, tip of the iceberg. So all this formula which I have just mentioned to you, that's 10% of what we get into the whole strategy. And as iceberg says, 90% of the entire iceberg is hidden inside the sea, right? We can't see it. So here, these are the things which you can do it. We can get it from there. But what I can do, I'm definitely going to call one more person. You all have met him over here, and he works very closely with Peter. And Peter has passed his apology, and I have taken that advantage, to just take the stage and share the stage on behalf of him. But I would like, to call Paul over here, Paul Smolinski, and just share his experience with Peter and what we are going to do to take the businesses from this journey, whether they wanted to aspire to grow a 25,000 pound a year, where that's the things, or they wanted to make 25,000 pound per month income, or they wanted to make 25,000 per week or per day or per hour. That's the journey which is going to happen. If you wanted to make 25,000 per hour, that's 100 million pound, guys, into your bank accounts as a revenue every year. If you wanted to make 25,000 pound a year, that's another journey which you have got. So you have to choose where you wanted to be. You have to choose what you wanted to do. But I would like to call Paul over here. Paul, do you mind please coming here?
Hi everyone. Thank you, Santosh. I work closely with Peter. Me and Peter work with 4 different companies. He's the CEO of the Hungarian British Business Alliance. I'm Global Sales Director. Plus we work on 3 other companies, so I've known him very well. We were flying together on the same flight from Manchester, and I drove up yesterday at 5:30 in the morning. I said, right, I'll meet you there at 10 o'clock. And he said, guess what, I've had terrible night sleeping, food poisoning. So he's absolutely, gutted not being here. But his background, Peter, is the former CEO of Virgin Media, 3.6 billion, 12,000 employees. And one of the things that I say is surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with successful people. Why do I work in 4 different companies with that caliber? Obviously, I work closely with Richard Branson. He worked with Richard Branson. So we have some great synergies. And I'll give you a little first tip how I met Peter. Peter was pretty much an introvert. He doesn't like great public speaker on stage, but take him to an event and introduce him to people, very, very shy. Didn't like mixing with people, and I sort of changed his attitude towards that, because when I met him in Covent Garden for lunch, he said, oh, I'm not sure, blah, blah, blah. He would go to an event, do a talk to 500 or 1,000 people and shoot off. And I say, right, so what did you get out of it? Well, the audience said, brilliant, great round of applause. And the question I said to him, who did you meet? He said, I didn't meet anyone. I said, well, think about it. And he went, yeah. And I said, why don't you want to meet people? And he said, well, I don't know if anyone wants to talk to me. Everyone wants to talk to him. So his mindset's changed, and obviously working closely with him, we've got some amazing platforms and projects that we're working with. And if you want to come to our events going forward, you'll meet him individually. Great guy. Santosh has met him many times. But also what he does, he's a business coach to a $1 billion company. They own 70 companies. He mentors the 2 sons. They turn over $1 billion. So what I do and what I've learned is, when I surround myself with that sort of caliber, I'm learning from some really $1 billion companies. And like I said to you people in the room on my presentation earlier on, it's who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with the very best. The question is how do you get to those people? How do you network with those people? How do you get involved on a daily basis? Yeah? Come talk to me. I can teach you how to do that. I'll teach you the strategies. And I'll share with you on stage here. Someone said to me, how did you get involved with Richard Branson? And do you know how I got involved with him? I'll tell you the story. I went to an event in Ireland, and there was 500 people in the audience. And I stood on stage and said, right, anyone in this room here knows Richard Branson? And one guy put his hand up. He said, oh, I know a girl who just come back from Necker Islands with Richard, and her name's Hannah, blah, blah, blah. I went, okay, well, can you introduce you to Hannah? Anyway, cut long story short, Hannah Hawkwood, I think her name was. She went to the event. I met her with her on LinkedIn, met her, I said, listen, do me a favour, I want to get connected to Richard Branson. How do I do it? Impossible. She said, but what I can do is I can introduce you to his tennis coach. So I said, I'll tell you what, if you introduce me to his tennis coach, I will give you an opportunity to talk on my stage in front of 5,000 people. Thank you, Paul, really appreciate it. So I got introduced to his tennis coach. His tennis coach is James Kluski. He is a professional tennis player, and he plays with Richard Branson, and he teaches how to play tennis at the events. So I met James, had a chat with him. I said to James, "How do I get in front of Richard?" He said, "Well, very, very unlikely." I said, "Tell you what, introduce me to his right-hand man. Who's the guy he works with on a daily basis?" He said, "Right, let me introduce you to his right-hand man. His name is Trevor Short. A lot of you don't even know who this guy is, but he does world exclusive events in America with billionaires and multimillionaires." So I said to James, "Thanks for doing that. For doing that, you're going to talk on my stage. Come to my show, spoke in front of 5,000 people. He's a business coach. That was the reward. How do I help him to gain his benefit from helping me?" So I got introduced to Trevor. So there was an event at Wimbledon. Every single year, Richard Branson goes to Wimbledon. He goes to the semi-finals. You'll see him this year now at the semi-finals of Wimbledon. Massive fat tennis fan, plays a lot. So I met this guy called Trev. He said, "Come to my event in Wimbledon." Went to this event, and there was 100 people there, all tennis pros, millionaires, billionaires. It was in a private house, £10 million house. Got all the photos on my phone. So I met this guy here, and I met the 3 partners who work with Richard. Anyway, cut long story short, I said, "Right, how do I get to meet Richard?" And he said to me, "Well, this is what we do. We do this private event once a year. It's invitation only. It's only for celebrities, and it's for multi-billionaire companies and millionaires who come support this charity events. It's called It's called the Necker Cup. If you hashtag it or Google, it's called it's there. You can go to the event and actually buy tickets. If I tell you the price of the tickets to go, yeah, you'll see why. They start at $50,000. That's the start, up to £1 million. So I said to this guy, "How do I get involved?" And the only reason how I got involved to work with Richard Branson is who I work with. I work with Lord Sugar, I work with Grant Cardone. They spoke at my event the previous year. And I said to these guys, "This is who I'm bringing to my events." That put me in the league of the Billionaire League. And the only reason how I got those 2 guys, Richard Branson and Grant Cardone, is I had to pay their fee. Their fee was £250,000, right? Where am I going to get £250,000 from? And I raised it. I raised £500,000 for my event at a business show, and Santosh was there. Santosh met Lord Sugar. He met Grant Cardone, and it was one of the best events the UK's ever seen, ever, in 2018. And I raised that money, and my wife had said to me, "It's impossible." We had an email from Lord Sugar saying his fee's that. She was in the middle of just typing the email to the apprentice, and he works with a company called Frank PR. That's who he represents. And she's just about saying, blah, 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 "Thanks for the offer, but no thanks." I said, "Don't press send yet." I said, "I will personally raise that money." And I did. And I achieved that. I achieved that goal. I raised the money, and that put me in the $1 billion league to meet Richard Branson. He said, "I tell you what then, come to the events of Richard Branson." Went to the islands. I took a load of clients. There's none here in this room. Took a load of clients to the room. Went to the islands. We flew to Antigua. We went to Scrub Islands. I said, "How do you know when you get to Richard Branson's house? It's like a Christmas tree lit up on the islands, in the British Virgin Islands, in the middle of the ocean." Goes to his house, and we go on the boat, and we go to a Christmas tree. We walk in there, and I go on the golf cart up to his house, Big Royal Island. And I walks in there. Richard Branson's just down there. Within 2 minutes, I had a selfie with Richard Branson, and I got to know him like we were best of mates forever. So I got that person to introduce me to, and my clients there, and I never forget the time, I did a live Facebook Live, right, to all my clients on Facebook from Richard Branson's house, and everyone must have spat their cornflakes out saying, "What the hell's this guy doing in Richard Branson's house?" And I built that relationship now. I presented with a photograph of a painting, and ever since then, Santos knows I've got a contract where I'm the only person in the UK that can take clients to that event once a year to raise £5 million. And I'm going again this year now with Peter and a lot of his people. But it just goes to show how do you meet certain people, and it all came from standing on a stage and saying to people, "Anyone in this room knows someone?" And they go, "No." "Anyone know in this room know blah blah blah?" "Oh yeah, I know someone." "Who do you know knows that person?" And that's how I got to meet Richard Branson and work with him. That's my story.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. As guys said, Paul and me, we are working very closely with each other. We are trying to help lots of entrepreneurs over here. We touch base about the network and the environment. I think one of the things which I touch base in my golden nuggets is the mindset. Everything starts from the mindset. There's a great philosopher, great leader, Napoleon Hill. He said, whatever your mind can conceive and you can believe, you can achieve. So with that thought, have the right mindset, have the risk-taking capabilities, have the decisive actions, and if you think you can make 24,000 pound a year, you will be able to make it. If you think you can make 250,000 pound a year, you will be able to make it. If you think 100 million you can make it because that thought has to be conceived in an idea, and the entire universe will come together to create an environment for you. Thank you very much.
Amazing.